What techniques should companies use to ensure gender diversity and parity?
That's a hard question, and it's hard work. I think you asked earlier about metrics. I think we have to start with data when we're talking about gender parity and women's equality in the workplace. You saw that in tech about, I guess it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where a group of women said, if you're not going to hand over the data, I'm going to go find it. And you really can't compare and audit and do that without actually looking at the numbers. So I think you absolutely have to start with a core intention of looking at numbers. But it obviously is not, it doesn't stop there. I think it comes to leadership, really setting the tone and committing to it as something that is a priority and really leaning into it in a real way to say that, this is not just sort of for the good of equality and doing it for the moral reason, but we also know that it improves our business and, to put it in both terms, right? I also think that, to the extent you're looking at it from a top-down, setting the tone, setting priorities and leadership around it, you also need to have support at the bottom and be able to empower employees and workers to also feel like they are sort of part of that conversation and a part of those changes. I think the number one thing, as I said at the beginning, though, is just that it takes a long time. I think in tech, we are really used to moving fast and breaking things and getting, sort of immediate gratification and really drilling down on the numbers and feeling like we have an exact answer. And I think on both issues of gender parity as well as, diversity and inclusion, that takes a long time. And you really have to commit to it and not get frustrated with it and say, we didn't get an answer, we didn't get exactly what we wanted right away, and really stick with it and go into it with that level of commitment. And most of all, as I said, prioritizing it. And with D&I, in terms of the work that I'm now doing at Uber, it's really about baking that in from the very beginning, right? It can't be an afterthought. It can't be after the whole product is built and you're like, oh wait, but what about women and what about, something else that affects people that are not usually at the table? Are we thinking about them from the very beginning and making sure that we're building around that priority?